I have a joke.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
What do you call a hippie's wife?
What do you call a hippie's wife? What? Oh my God.
Mississippi.
I swear. Oh my God. That was good. That was good. Now spell it.
MISSISSIPPI.
Which side of a turkey has more feathers? The outside. Knock, knock. Who's there? Abby. Abby who? Abby Thanksgiving. Why don't seagulls fly over the bay? Huh? Because then they would be bagels. We're not very good at this. No.
All right, I'm going to say this once, but I'm not going to say it again. What was I going to say? I forgot.
Okay, Peanut, right now we're going to do something a little different. You're going to be funny? It's a Christmas miracle. Let's all hold hands and sing Kumbaya. No, what I'd like to do is something that's been a tradition every Christmas Eve in my family for many years. We're going to get drunk and throw up. No, what I'd like to do is I'd like to read everyone the story the night before Christmas. Okay, no. And this will be good. No, it'll suck. No, it'll be fine. No, yeah, no, I'd like, no, 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 yeah, no, Peanut, no, yeah, no. Let me say it in Japanese. No.
I never get lonely. I got these ghosts to keep me company. I took the review off of this soul. I only see it in front of me. Now the past is out of sight and out of mind. I swore I'd change, now I'm back chasing these white lines. I'm just a long-haired son of a sinner. I'm searching for you. I'm always one call away from a searching for new ways I can get down. I'm a pedal to the highway. If you ever wonder why I write these songs, 'cause I'm only one drink away from the ghetto. I'm always one call away from home. Look, I'm somewhere in the middle, but I guess I'm just a little screaming. Yeah, baby. If this is your first Jelly Roll show, we want to welcome you to our dysfunctional family tonight, baby. Oh yeah, that means it's no longer a concert, it's a family reunion. Last week I was able to celebrate my 6th #1 on country radio, y'all. But in order to have 6, that means you had to have 1, and this is the 1. This was the rocket we rode in on. This was our first #1 country radio. I'm a long head. I'm searching for. I'm a pedal to the highway. If you ever wonder why we put one finger in the sky with me if you're rocking with me tonight, please. Everywhere in the building, baby, I want to see a finger up. Are we in this thing together right now, dude? Cause I'm only one. And I'm always. Look, I'm somewhere in the middle, but I guess I'm just a little. Scream it! Yes! Woo!
All right, that was one container of our no-bake cheesecake that we are going to use to line our 9x13. Oh my goodness, this is my favorite stuff in the whole world. You can find it at Walmart, okay? Once we get that nice and beautifully spread out, we are gonna go in with my next favorite, which is Oreos. If you don't like Oreos, I can't trust you. And we are just gonna line our cheesecake with Oreos. Oh my goodness. Oreo cheesecake is the best flavor combination. I love getting the Oreo cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory, but this is gonna be even better than that.
What? No chance.
Yeah, okay, so let's quickly get these lined in our 9x13 so that we can get this ready for our party. All right, the last Oreo right in there. Oh, those Oreos smell incredible. Okay, we're gonna kind of move this to the side, and I'm gonna bring in a large bowl and a whisk. And in this bowl, I'm gonna add my family-sized chocolate instant pudding. This stuff is so good. You can use whatever pudding flavor you like, but chocolate is my favorite. And we're just gonna follow the instructions on the box and add 3 cups of cold milk.
Stop. Oh.
A little too much?
Yeah, I think they survived.
Look, half of it's fallen on the counter anyways. Perfect. All right, and then we're just gonna whisk this up. It's gonna be so delicious, so easy, so yummy. All right, and just before this starts thickening up, we are gonna bring back in our dish, and we are gonna pour this onto our Oreos. Oh my goodness. Doesn't it look so good?
I'm like salivating. That's
Oh,
how
yeah.
delicious this looks.
Let's go ahead and get all of that goodness out. I like to put it on before it thickens up so that it's easier to spread. And we just want to make sure that all of those Oreos are covered. Oh my gosh, doesn't it look so good? Ooh.
Ooh,
Okay.
Can't wait.
And then we're just gonna let that thicken up for about 5 minutes. All right, now that this is thickened up, I'm gonna bring in my 16-ounce Cool Whip. You can make your own whipped cream if you want, and we're gonna just go ahead and put this right on top of our pudding. All right, and we are just spreading this from edge to edge. Try not to bring up that pudding. It's okay if you do a little bit, but we just want a nice fluffy Cool Whip layer on top of our delicious Oreo cheesecake chocolate pudding no-bake dessert. Oh,
People love layers when they dig into something.
oh yeah. It's like an explosion in their mouth.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, now I'm gonna come in with my Hershey's chocolate syrup, and we're gonna do a nice little drizzle right on top. Doesn't need to be anything crazy.
Oh, you're like really good at that.
Beautiful. And then to add a little bit of color and fun, we have some mini M&Ms. Now the chocolate syrup and the mini M&Ms are optional. Like I said, it's just like a little bit of fun and, you know, playfulness to our dessert. You can decorate it however you would like. All right, that looks absolutely delicious. Now this is gonna go in the fridge for 1 hour. All right, you guys, this is ready. Doesn't it look so good?
Oh, I am severely excited.
All right, and this is a spoon kind of dessert. So we're gonna go in, make sure you go all the way to the bottom so we can get that cheesecake. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so excited. Woo, make sure you get all that on your plate.
It looks so cool. Is there any way to see the layers at all?
Oreos are still a little crunchy. Oh, perfect bite.
It's too good, huh?
It's really, really good, you guys.
I want a bite.
You gotta try it.
What has 5 toes but isn't your foot? My foot. she had mittens.
I'll take that. I don't know that I would get through this.
Did you know the leading cause of car accidents in Tennessee is deer? Which is crazy because I didn't even know they let them drive.
So I got a tattoo. My mother didn't speak to me for a week. And I know it's probably none of your business I got one, but I'm fixing to retire. I'm telling everything. My daughter was like, "That's disgusting, Mother. It's a tramp stamp." I say, "It's not a tramp stamp. It's your father's name." But it's sad because now I'm like, I could never get married again, for heaven's sakes. And then the amazing thing, when my bladder shifted, everything shifted. Gravity takes care of a lot. It's kind of weird. My beloved's name is in my butt crack somewhere.
Taking my daughter to get her first haircut and her ears pierced to surprise my wife.
All right, tell your joke.
Why are you singing so funny?
Why?
Because
I do for you. Long better. All right, fine. I'll have long nails. Thanks.
It's okay, honey. Only $4 more. That's okay. Do you like crystal gel? What? Do you like crystal gel? I'm sorry. What? Honey, do you like crystal gel for your nail? It's the best thing you can have for your nail. Make look nice. It sparkle like diamond in the sky. Do you like crystal gel? Oh, no, I don't want crystal. That. Thanks. Honey, you say to me you do not have boyfriend. I don't want to help you. Oh, okay, fine. I'll have some. Thank you. It's okay, and it's better for you.
This mom put a Ring camera in her daughter's bedroom, and this was the first time she's ever spoken on it.
Mila, lay down.
One of my good friends said, Lynn, I've got a gas fireplace in my master bedroom, and I love that thing. But every time I turn it on, Sam thinks we're going to do it. I can't even enjoy my own fireplace. And this is what's crazy. This Invisalign tray, if I don't have it in, if I'm soaking it in some Polident, and I forget about it, my husband's like. But if I pop that Invisalign tray in, he's like, good night.
Let me tell you something. If you don't want to buy a suit, buy 5, get 5% off. I'm bringing the squad. Let's go. And we will be there, darling. Trust and believe. Me and my
Oh my God.
my army,
Help.
darling.
Help.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a flat-out funny person, Jeannie Robertson.
Thank you so very much for coming to this taping of Flat Out Funny at the Paramount Theater here in Burlington, North Carolina. The historic, recently remodeled Paramount Theater. Those of us who grew up in nearby Graham used to come over and go to the picture show on Saturday night in this place. I appreciate you coming here. We're here with Elon University Television Services to produce my next humor program, which is called Flat Out Funny at the Paramount. You just cannot tape a humor tape without a live audience. And watching y'all come in, I became concerned. Margaret, could you prop up Tom just a little bit? Just give him a little oomph there so he comes up, just a little bit. If you are here, you got your tickets, or the person in your group who got the tickets from Tony Meredith. Now, if you're on the floor right now, you're very happy. You got good seats. You're down here on the main level, and so you like Tony. And up there, it just so happens that at the Paramount, the balcony has great seats. Are y'all up there in the balcony? Yeah, you're there? Good. But you might not like Tony quite as much. But the people who are at home on the waiting list to come might be thinking what somebody asked me, and I quote, well, who is Tony Meredith? And how come, the exact words, how come she's the queen of the tickets? Well, here is how come Tony is queen of the tickets. I ran my own speaking business for 16 years. By that I mean I booked the speech, I wrote the speech, I went away and gave the speech, I came back and I did the correspondence. And then in 1979, in the last millennium, my fame had spread. And people were calling me from places like South Carolina. And I really realized all of a sudden I need some help, or as we say, some help. I believe that a sense of humor is very important. And I needed somebody who could do the clerical jobs I needed, but just as important to me is to work every day with somebody who at least tries to have a sense of humor. I had noticed a woman in the county named Tony Meredith. She was Miss Volunteer, head of every volunteer thing in the county. Not making a whole lot of money, isn't now, but... We had happened to be at Auburn University together as students. So we wound up here, and from talking to her on the phone, I realized she had the clerical skills, she certainly had the people skills, but I didn't know about that sense of humor. That's just so difficult to judge in a job interview. At that time, my speaking office was in the laundry room. This was the setup. There was the washing machine. Then there was the dryer. And then there was a table with the telephone and some boxes with files. And then there was always a dog in there. So if the phone rang, you had to swing into action. You had to cut off the washer, cut off the dryer. This was back when we dried our tennis shoes. Thump, thump, thump. Get the dog out in the hall, shut the door, and pick up the telephone. And around the room were stacks of clothes in various stages of clothing life. There would be a dirty stack waiting to get in there, and a clean stack over here waiting to be folded, and then there'd be a wrinkled stack, because you know, if you don't get it out of the dryer in time, you don't iron those things. You put it under the sink and get it wet and throw it in the dryer again. So Tony came for the interview, and I started to clean it up, but instead I just said, pull up a stack of towels and have a seat. And I explained to her the situation, all the stuff you had to do and why. She said, I understand. You don't want big corporations to know you're running out of a laundry room, do you? I said, that is exactly right. And as we sat there, the telephone rang, and I reached for it. She said, let me pick it up. And she picked it up and turned into Administrative Professional of the Year. This is Jeannie Robertson's office. My name is Tony Meredith. What can I do for you today? Well, it struck me funny. She was sitting on a stack of dirty towels. I grabbed a wash rag, stuck it in my mouth to so I wouldn't laugh out loud. She said, the light indicating Mrs. Robertson's arrival is not on. The light? But sometimes she comes in her back outside entrance. If you'll let me put you on hold, I'll tiptoe down the hall and see if by some chance she has arrived. She put the phone down, started to walk away. Knowing her like I know her now, I'm surprised she didn't turn back, pick up the phone, and pretend to be radio music. Ain't no sunshine when you're gone. Boom, boom, boom. She crossed the room. I saw where she was going. Before I could get the wash rag out of her mouth, she stepped over things and went to a closet, and the sporting world, when she opened it, fell out on top of it. Bags, balls, baseballs, everything in the world. She was not fazed. She started just kicking it all back in there and shoving it, glanced at me, shut the door, walked right over and picked up the phone and says, we're in luck. Mrs. Robertson has arrived. I will transfer the call. And she shoved the phone in my face. I would not be outdone. I took that wash rag out of my mouth. I said, this is Jeannie Robertson. What can I do for you today? My husband said, can anybody there take some shirts to the cleaner? question because so many. Did I hire Tony Meredith? Really wasn't a matter of hiring. Did I beg her to work with me? And that was 28 years ago. And is she still with me today? And folks, that is how come Tony is queen of the tickets.
Well, you fill in the blanks. Okay, so now, we're going to start discussing men's brains, women's brains, and how they're very different from each other. Now, I want to start with men's brains. All right, now men's brains are very unique. Men's brains are made up of little boxes. And we have a box for everything. We've got a box for the car. We got a box for the money. We got a box for the job. We got a box for you. We got a box for the kids. We got a box for your mother somewhere in the basement. We got boxes everywhere. And the rule is the boxes don't touch. When a man discusses a particular subject, we go to that particular box, we pull that box out, we open the box, we discuss only what is in that box. All right? And then we close the box and put it away, being very, very careful not to touch any other boxes. Sorry, my Catholic upbringing got in there for a minute, but I'm not a Catholic, but I went to Catholic school when I was little. I had a nun who taught on hell like she was born and raised there. I mean, I'll never forget it, but it did me good, actually. It was a good thing. Now, women's brains are very, very different from men's brains. Women's brains are made up of a big ball of wire. And everything is connected to everything. The money's connected to the car, and the car's connected to your job, and your kids are connected to your mother, and everything's connected to everything. It's just like... It's like the internet superhighway. Okay? And it's all driven by energy that we call emotion. It's just... It's one of the reasons why women tend to remember everything. Because if you take an event and you connect it to an emotion, it burns in your memory and you can remember it forever. The same thing happens for men. It just doesn't happen very often because, quite frankly, we don't care. Women tend to care about everything. And she just loves it. Okay? Now, men, we have a box in our brain that most women are not aware of. This particular box has nothing in it.
It's true. It's true.
In fact, we call it the nothing box. And of all the boxes a man has in his brain, the nothing box is our favorite box. If a man has a chance, he'll he'll go to his nothing box every time. That's why a man can do something seemingly completely brain dead for hours on end. You know, like fishing. And we love it. That's why a guy can sit in front of a TV and go. It glows. Of course, this drives our wives nuts because they'll come up and say, "Stop that! You can't possibly be watching anything!" I'm not. Go away. Now, they've actually measured this. The University of Pennsylvania a couple of years ago did a study and discovered that men have the ability to think about absolutely nothing and still breathe. You know, they connected all the wires and stuff like that and watched the brain activity, then all of a sudden, I think he's dead. Huh? You know, women can't do it. They can't do it. Their minds never stop. And they don't understand the nothing box. And it drives them crazy. Because nothing drives a woman more crazy or makes her feel more irritated than to witness a man doing nothing. Now, one of the biggest revelations I get out of women is this whole nothing box issue. They just, everything's starting to make sense. And I've had women say, "Oh, it's nothing. Well, can I go in as nothing?" Now, one of the biggest revelations I get out of women is this whole nothing box issue. They just, everything's starting to make sense. And I've had women say, "Oh, it's nothing. Well, can I go in his nothing box with him?" No! Why not? Because then it's something. Besides, you'll walk in there and go, you know, this place could really use some pictures. Nice little table over here, some flowers. Is it? No! Nothing! Get out! We don't want nothing. Now, this handles the way men and women handle stress. Okay? When a man is stressed out, all he wants to do is run to his nothing box. This is how we unwind. The last thing we want to do when we're stressed out is talk about it. We don't want to talk about it. We just want to... Of course, it just drives her nuts, you know. A woman will see a man in that vegetative state and she'll come up and go, "What you thinking about?" Nothing. We gotta be thinking about something. No, I was thinking about nothing. In fact, I was on a roll till you showed up. Go away. All right? Because that's how he handles stress. He just... Now, when a woman is stressed out, she has to talk about it. If she doesn't talk about it, her brain will literally explode. So she'll start just, I don't know, might have something to do with this. Not gonna have to do that. You know, I never thought about this. My brother over here said to me, and I know men who run from their wives when they do this. They do. I say, well, why do you run from her? He says, because I don't know what to tell her. I said, dear God, man, who told you to tell her anything? She wants you to tell her anything. See, a lot of guys, they feel obligated when you start explaining all your stress, they feel obligated to fix you. Right? Because that's what a man does. A man only tells his troubles to another man in hopes that that man will help fix it. Okay? But she's not a man. And you try and fix her, she's gonna kill you. All right? She doesn't want your advice. She doesn't want your help. She wants you to shut up and listen. And a couple of ladies,
That's right, you tell him! Tell him to shut up!
they like that. Now, I had one guy tell me, he said, man, if she just tell me how she feels. I said, she doesn't know yet. This is what it is. That's how she figures out how she feels, by connecting this wire to that wire, this wire, and so. Now, because they love each other, they offer to each other their answer, their solution. A man senses his wife is stressed out. He loves the girl. He offers to the girl his best and finest solution. Or just quit talking about it. Just quit thinking about it. Yeah. And that's when she starts reaching for the knives and stuff. She's gonna stab you if you keep it up, okay? Now, a woman, she senses her husband's all stressed out. She loves him. Therefore, she offers to him her best and finest solution.
Talk to me! Why won't you talk to me?
Go away. He doesn't want to talk to you. Leave him alone. He will not die. He's not a woman. All right? I know you've got to talk it through or you're going to be twisted inside. He's not like that. Leave the boy alone. You tell he's stressed out, just let him go to his nothing box. Just stay away.
So I just tell you my beauty secret's Preparation H. This is what I saw on Oprah. You take Preparation H and you put it under your bags of your eyes, and like I put a bunch under here of my four chins and rubbed it all on my thighs and on my belly, hoping that all shrivel up. It didn't help, but I can sit for hours. I do have on 2 pairs of Spanx. I don't know if it's beauty or just laziness. I put on one pair and I got a hole. I thought I had a tumor. You know what I mean? It's like dough popping out of the can. And by then, I'd had a hot flash. You ever had a hot flash in a pair of swim? You be cutting holes everywhere because you won't be able to get them all. You have to have them surgically removed. I can hot flash like nobody's business, but I can't work up a good spit right now. I got one pit you could wring out and have a bucket of... But to spit on somebody on fire, it ain't gonna happen, I'm sorry. Nothing. I tried on some blue jeans one time, and the lady was going, "Ma'am, are you all right in there?" And I was grunting. I said, "Something is wrong with these." She goes, "Honey, they're low riders." I said, "Well, I've had a flat and I'm riding on the rip." I just think it's high time that we really start speaking the truth. And here's the truth. You enjoy that flat stomach while you can. Let me just speak truth to your life. You're gonna swell up like a dead fish one of these days. Yeah, I missed our big Halloween big deal here. What do we call it? The hoedown. Absolutely. In LA, that's a totally different meaning. I've been going to the airport naked. Yeah, it's really, really hard. But now they have the big, fancy scanners. They're getting all those in, so that's good. I can get my mammogram and my... You need an MRI, go to the airport. Got free health care right there in Nashville Airport. Be careful what you say on Facebook, because I will call the cops. I kid you not, I had a little apartment in West Hollywood, and I walked out of my apartment building one morning, and a 78-year-old woman had a card table sitting there and a little petition and giving out little candies for you to sign her petition to make marijuana legal. 78! I said, "Where were you when I was in college?" I have always thought Victoria's Secrets, they should sell britches. Britches for the more intimate, angrier you. It's probably what they mean by thongs. I put a pair of those on 3 weeks ago. I hadn't seen them since.
In our area of the country, as you know, when someone we know gets sick or has passed, that's the way we do it. Have you noticed it? If we hear the word passed, and then we go on. I was seated next to a woman on the airplane, and not a month or two ago, she was 70 and going to see her sister. I'd never met her. And I said to her, "How many siblings do you have?" She said, "I have 2 sisters, and then we had a third one. She passed in 1941. And both of us went, "Oh, I'm so sorry." You know what I think it is? I think it's just a little show of respect, just to stop for a minute and do like this and do this. Well, in our area of the country, when somebody gets sick that we know or has passed, we take over food. Have you noticed it? We take over food. You can buy that food. You can go to the deli and the grocery store, get something great, hire somebody to bake it, but put it down in the big list of important things for life. You get a lot more credit if you make it yourself. You can put it on your grandmother's platter, but the women in the kitchen will say, I know where she got that chicken. I'm telling you, it works out that way. And I make only one thing, and that is small little 7-Up pound cakes. I make them by the dozen. I'm out of town, something happens, left brain takes it over. And not long ago, got up one morning and heard that a friend of ours was sick and went to my freezer and my pound cakes were depleted. I did not realize I was out. He said, I've been taking them to a lot of people been sick. I said, well, I didn't know they were gone. I got to get a pound cake made before I leave town. Honey, go to the grocery store and get my ingredients. He said, I'm trying to get to Badminton. I said, well, it's just a few ingredients. He said, I tell you what, I can get there and get it and still get to Badminton, but you make sure I can go through that express lane. No problem. We don't go to the grocery store together anymore because I frankly don't care what things cost by the half ounce. So I made up the list and he left. Well, y'all, I waited. He didn't come back. I thought, he's gone on to Badminton. And I thought, no, where could he be? I was getting ready to call the grocery store and I heard the car pull in. He came huffing up the steps, had 2 sacks and more sacks hanging on his arms. He just glared at me, started putting stuff down, and said, I'll get some more out of the car. I looked in the first sack, there was a pound of margarine and 2 gigantic bottles of vanilla flavoring, doling out a half teaspoon at a time. It would take forever to get rid of these 2 gigantic bottles of vanilla flavor. And in the next sack were 3 dozen eggs. I said, they had a special. I'll tell you, they have had a special. I didn't need but 5 eggs, and I just said a dozen. In the next sack was a big old thing of shortening, 2 of them. And in the next sack, 2 more, 12 pounds of lard. We could fry fish for everybody in here. But in that 4th sack, I found my list. And I'd like to step out of the kitchen just a minute to tell you something. Left Brain is a smart man. He went to Duke University on a basketball scholarship, played basketball for 4 years, and graduated in the same 4 years. Then he went to Carolina and got a master's degree and a doctorate. He has over-degreed himself. But I don't care how many pieces of paper you frame and put on the wall, if you have a left brain, it's going to kick in on you. And it kicked in on him about the 3rd aisle of that grocery store. I'll step back in the kitchen. I found my list, and in my eagerness to make sure that he could get through the express lane, for probably the first time in my life, I numbered the items. Number 1, a pound of butter, no problem. Number 2, large bottle of vanilla flavoring. I had 2 of them. Number 3, a dozen eggs. This man has a doctorate degree. Number 4, a big tub thing of lard. I could hear him coming back. I looked down at number 5. Said a 5-pound bag of sugar. I knew he was coming in with 25 pounds of sugar. And number 6 was a 5-pound bag of all-purpose flour, 30 pounds of flour. Now, I believe in accepting things you can't change, but I also believe in hounding things sometimes, and then sometime I let it ride. And this time, y'all would have been proud of me. I let it ride. I put that list behind my back. He came in again, plopping down sugar and flour all over, bam, 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 gets it all down there and says, 1 more trip. I went back to my list and looked, and number 7 was a bottle of 7-Up. I don't want that big bottle because if you're going to make 1 cake, and you just use it. It'll be stale by the time I get back. I told him I wanted a 6-pack of those medium-sized ones hanging. So I knew he was coming back in with 42 bottles of 7-Up. And in a minute, there he was. I had just cleared a space for him right here. Back it up. Put them all down and turned around to me before he left and said, well, obviously, they wouldn't let me through the express lane. But you know what? He got all the way out in the hall and came back and he said, for the record, I figured out what I had done. But by then she was ringing up the 7-Up. And all these people behind me in line were laughing. And I got to get to badminton. Don't tell anybody. I said, I won't. 3 days later, I went to the grocery store, and a woman that was checking me out says, I think I checked out your husband a few days ago. I said, I'm sure you could have. She said, that was an interesting order. I said, let me explain to you. And she was from this area too, and this proves it, because I said, anytime a friend of ours gets sick or has passed, and both of us went, said, I make pound cakes and we take it over. This woman said to me, is there an epidemic?